Welcome to the sneak preview session of the course Wildly Profitable Marketing for Heritage Breeds. In this 5-part series, first session we're going to cover how to ensure you have a profitable start. Then we'll go into how to enjoy a high-performing website. Then to identifying profit-producing marketing tactics. Session 4 will be engaging in social media. And session 5 is one of my favorite because this is where we take everything that you've learned in the other 4 sessions and we wrap it all together and create a marketing roadmap that's only going to take you 30 minutes a day to implement. So first, a little bit about myself and why I'm qualified to teach this program for you. Ever since I was a little girl, I've known my mission is to inspire people to protect endangered animals. And one of the ways I do this is I specialize in helping animal-related, meaning heritage breeders, zoos, aquariums, conservation centers, as well as other green-focused organizations, find the right buying customers. I'm also the co-author of Wildly Profitable Marketing. This book series, one is set up for the pet and veterinarian industry, another one for zoos, aquariums, wildlife conservation centers, plus heritage breeds fit in there beautifully, and then of course green businesses as well. And I've been doing this for over 25 years now, so I've got a vast amount of experience, and I've worked with folks from all around the world. And I am so excited to bring this program to you to truly help you find more buying customers. So let's start. In session 1, it's all about ensuring a profitable start, meaning that we need to define your destination, track your competitors, and really dive into identifying your ideal prospects. So in the first part, defining your destination, this is where we really start with a clear outline of your marketing objectives. Who are you trying to attract? What unique solutions are you offering these prospects? What distinct promises and benefits are you going to feature in your marketing? It's so important for you to understand exactly what you're aiming for so we know how to get you there. And now let's begin with the overall marketing objectives. Now, in the full course, this is where we'll actually be diving in and setting your SMART goals, meaning they need to be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-based. And I've got a simple worksheet to fill out that's going to walk you through setting your destination and setting your marketing goals. Then we go on to track your competitors. Now, I've got to tell you, out of 25 plus years, I am just blown away by how many people don't take the time to track their competitors. And this is so critical because the reality is we don't want you to get swallowed up by the competitors. You need to know what your competitors are doing. You also need to study them. What marketing materials are they using? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? What are they doing to bring in more customers? Because the reality is they're also out there trying to steal your customers as well. So the more we know about them, the better off you're going to be. Plus, this is the only way to know how to position your business in this crowded marketplace. Now, years ago, actually quite a few years ago, I owned my first gift shop when I was only 16 years old. We didn't have the internet at that point. So for me to really be able to understand who my competitors are, I needed to wait each year till Aunt Dorothy came into town to visit. And she would roam around town and look at all the other gift shops, see what products they were selling, make notes for me. That was my form of competitor research. Now we have it so easy with the internet. My goodness, you can be sitting at home in your pajamas online tracking to see who your competitors are, both locally as well as in person. So another set of good news, I've got, again, all the worksheets together that you're going to be able to go through to easily identify who your competitors are. Now, the next part we cover in session 1 is really clearly defining who you want to attract and why they're going to choose you over the other competitors. Now, again, I hear people saying all the time, well, we don't want to limit ourselves. We're just going to sell to everyone. Well, that's fine. I don't want you to limit yourself. I'm all about helping you drive more cash flow. But I can also share with you, the more we niche down who your individual customers are, the easier it's going to be to create the marketing materials and the content to get in front of them. It really is about understanding who is searching for you. And in this marketing landscape, right now, they could be out there on the internet looking for your organization. They just don't know where to find you. And that's where this section is so important to really dive down, take that hour to complete each one of your worksheets and really understand who your ideal prospects are. Now, the other piece of good news is we're actually going to look at customer personas. And yes, if you've got 3 different customer groups, then we'll do a persona for each one of those customer groups. Think of me for an example. You heard me say earlier that I love working with animal-related organizations. But the marketing materials and how I talk to a zoo is very different from what I use and how I talk to someone in the heritage breed industry. So again, I'm following my passion, I'm bringing in my buying customers, but I'm segmenting them so I can clearly deliver what each individual group needs. So this is why I'm encouraging you to also really start to think about who your customer groups are and how you can segment them into groups. So then that was session number 1. Now for session number 2, this is where we dive into how to enjoy a high-performing site. And in this section, I've got it broken down again into 3 areas: defining your site's purpose. Then we talk about how to wow them with your site, because again, we know that the average person is only going into a website for approximately 28 seconds. And if you can keep them that long, whoa, it's time to do your happy dance. Because honestly, most people are clicking so fast in and out of websites, you've got to wow them, both with graphics that are going to draw them in, but also with content, benefit-based content. And that's one of the bonuses I'm actually going to give you in this session. Then, also in session 2, we're going to dive into the 43-point checklist. And I've got an easy checkoff list that you can go through to make sure your website is meeting all of the usability guidelines, which will, of course, keep your viewers much happier. So let's talk about defining your site's purpose. We already talked about in session 1 how to set your marketing objective, what you want your overall marketing to do for your organization. Now in session 2, we break it down even further. What do you want your website to do for your organization? And it's not just about making more money. Again, we go back to our SMART goals, which you heard me say: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-based. And in our session, I'll be able to help you set each of these goals. But for example, let's say maybe you want to generate 25,000 more website visitors a year. Or with your website, you want to increase product sales by 12% this month. Or maybe you're introducing a new product or service and you want it to generate at least $125,000 in revenue for this particular quarter. So once you've got your goals set for your website, then it's much easier to go in and make sure that your design, to make sure that your graphics, to make sure that your call to action buttons are all going to reach that particular goal. So for example, one of the clients, I had done a website review down in Boston, and the goal of his website, or at least this particular section, he wanted to generate 1,000 new leads per month off his website. But when we went in and I took a look at his site and I'm doing the full review, The box to sign up for the newsletters was way down. We're talking almost 3 scrolls down at the bottom of his home page. People weren't seeing it. Of course, he wasn't generating all of the leads that he wanted. So by a simple redesign on his home page, by bringing that email sign-up box to the top of his website in the right-hand corner, which is the #1 placement for the sign-up box, plus by helping him identify and add what we call an ethical bribe to get people to sign up. Oh my goodness, not only after a month was he reaching his 1,000 leads per month, but as we tweaked his ethical bribe, he was bringing in 1,500, 2,000 and up per month. So again, this is where defining your website's purpose is so absolutely critical, because we need to know what you want your website to accomplish. So next, let's talk about how to wow them with your website. And here, your website is the hub of all your marketing. So think about it. Everything you're going to do in the marketing world, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's a newspaper ad, everything you do needs to drive people back to your website. So literally, your website address needs to be on everything. And keep in mind, your website design and content will make or break your online success. So this section is so absolutely critical. And in this section, I'm just going to cover lightly, but of course in our full 5-part series, we'll go more in depth. But there are 3 essential areas your site must encompass. The first one is site architecture. Now, this is your sitemap. This is your navigation, meaning your pages, your button names, your menu setup, shopping cart pages. It also talks about the number and the type of pages you're going to have on your website. Then we're going to dive into graphic design. This is your site's look and feel. Is it readable? Is it user-friendly? Is it also branded to match all of your marketing materials? And now a person who was in our last session, we had a very big disjoint, a hiccup between what their business card looked like and what their website looked like. Again, we're going to talk more about how everything you do in the marketing world, every piece or every marketing strategy, everything needs to look like brothers and sisters. They all need to belong and look alike with the same type fonts, with similar coloring and branding. And I've got an example in a moment that I'm going to show you. Plus, your third essential area is your web content, your site's messaging, the words, the messaging that you are putting on each page. You need to provide your visitors, tell them more about what you offer, why you're a great resource, and how to contact you to do business with you. I can't tell you how many website reviews I have done, and there's no contact us button. And they say, well, we don't want to be bothered with phone calls. Are you kidding me? You want people to call you. You want people to email you. This is a world where our networking has changed. It's not just about meeting people face to face anymore. We've got the internet at our fingertips. We can be working with customers from all around the world. But what still stands true is the fact that people only do business with people that they know, trust, and like. So you've got to make it easy for people to start to form a relationship with you and get to know who you are and what you offer. So now let's talk about the 43-point checklist. First, you need to know that this whole section is based on the studies and the books of Jacob Nielsen. He and his team are just world-renowned when it comes to website usability. They've done amazing studies around the world. There's even software now that will track the eyeballs of the viewer. Yeah, think about that. So someone can be looking at your website and the software in the studies that they've done track to see how people maneuver through a website. So a website is not just something that's made to look graphically pretty, but there's a science behind developing a high-performing site. Now, the good news for you is in Jacob Nielsen's, in all of their tests, they've got 113 guidelines. They've got 226 for e-commerce sites. The good news is we've broken it down to an easy 43-point checklist, and we're going to go through this in our session coming up. Actually, we start next week. Plus, you'll receive a whole checkoff list so you can go through your own website as well. And then I'll be offering a bonus in session 2. So let's look a little bit from a high level at this 43-point checklist. First, here we are. Most of us are in North America. We read left to right. So your logo needs to be in the upper left-hand corner, just like you see here with the Audubon Nature Institute. Then we're looking for a tagline to give a kind of a mini description of who you are and what you're in business to do. And I love their tagline, celebrating the wonders of nature. In fact, not only do I use this screenshot in all my sessions, but you'll also find if you buy my zoo and animal related marketing book, this example is in there as well. Then the other thing that you want to keep in mind in the 43-point checklist is your navigation. Your buttons need to be using the standard naming convention, meaning home, about us, contact us, products, shop, support. You don't want to get into all these funky naming conventions like who we are, what we do, what we're all about. That just confuses your viewer. The more that you can be consistent with the usability guidelines, the more high performing your website is going to be. So the other bonus that I provide in session 2 is a special report about writing great content. Because the reality is, if your website is talking all about we do this and we do that, in the marketing world, honestly, we call that wee-weeing all about yourself. And that does not do any good at all. People don't want to hear all about what we do. People want to see what is customer and benefit based. So I've done a special report, 7 fundamental guidelines to creating great web content. Then is another special bonus, how to select the best hosting company for your website and who's on your web team. Because a lot of times once we get through the 43-point checklist, people realize, oh my gosh, my site is outdated. This is why it hasn't been working for all these years, and they're ready for a redesign. Some folks are able to dive in and redo their own site. But for those that don't want to do their own site or can't, I've provided a special report on identifying who needs to be on your web development team, how to find them, and 9 key interview questions to ask them. Then it's on to session 3. And in session 3, it's all about identifying the profit-producing marketing tactics. Now, in the tactics, we are going to look at all of the different options. We're going to look at traditional print media as well as other offline classics. We also look at a variety of online classics, email newsletters, and then I've added a new section on mobile marketing because mobile marketing is so important nowadays. So the most important thing that I tell people as we're diving into all of this is first we need to make sure your website is solid. Once you have a solid website, then we start looking at the other marketing tools that are out there. I recommend people become familiar with them and what they are, but I also recommend that you only start with 1 or 2 because most folks, I don't know about you, do you get overwhelmed with your marketing? Do you get frustrated that there are so many options and you don't know which ones will work? Or you put a lot of hours into one marketing tactic and you find it's not bringing you any customers. So in this program, it's my job to take my 25 plus years of experience to help you sort through this. So first, we're going to make sure you've got solid branding, meaning a really good business card, because that also drives traffic to your website. Then we're going to make sure you've got a solid website. Then we'll start exploring all the marketing tools, selecting one or two, and slowly building your toolbox or your arsenal over the next 12 months. Then the other important thing is to make sure you're tracking each effort, because you need to know how it's doing. If it's not working, either tweak it. If it still isn't working, you chuck it out of your toolbox and you select another tool. Marketing is something where you've got to do it every single day. Most business owners come to marketing when they're out of customers or cash flow has gotten so bad they're considering taking a job and giving up their company. I'm here to tell you that if we think tortoise and not hare, it's not about rushing from one marketing tactic to another. It's about planning. It's about building this roadmap that's only going to take you 30 minutes a day to implement. Or I have some folks that'll spend 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week and they chunk it and do all of it at the same time, or use some of the great scheduling tools that we have out on the internet, which I'll share some more links with you. But the bottom line I want you to hear here is that it's all about consistency and just making marketing part of your everyday plan. Just like you're going out back to feed and water the chickens every single day or whatever breed you happen to be raising, your marketing is the exact same thing. It needs to be fed and watered every day so it stays alive, stays productive. So as we look at all these marketing options, this is just a touch on offline. Now, if there are things in here that don't make any sense to you, don't worry about it, because the reality is we only need you to pick one or two as you're going forward with your marketing. So in our 5-part series, we'll go more in depth into all of these. The other thing is think about online, and online again. This is just the start of the availability for online marketing tactics. My goodness, the list continues to grow on a regular basis. But again, you don't worry about getting overwhelmed, because one, you've already heard me say, we're going to build, perfect one at a time as we build your marketing toolbox. The other thing to keep in mind, if your ideal prospects aren't using a specific marketing tactic, ignore it. You don't have to worry about it. For example, if none of your followers are on Twitter, then don't worry about Twitter. It's going to make your day so much easier. We're only going to focus on where your prospects are hanging out. Now, I told you a moment ago I'd show you a sample of some of my marketing materials. You already heard me say I work in both the wildlife industry as well as the livestock industry. So this just kind of shows you an example of how my branding all looks like brothers and sisters, but each one has different messages and goes out to different markets. But when you see it, you clearly know that all of it is within the umbrella of the Green Up Girl. And then in session 3, we then also talk about how to use email and email newsletters as marketing. This is an amazing tool. And I've shown you here on the left the lectures and films. What a great way to do an email that just focuses on one topic, meaning an evening with the elephants. Or on the right-hand side, you'll see with the Alexandria Zoo, this is all about promoting their holiday light safari. The email focuses on one topic. Now they've added links, on the left-hand side to connect you with other cool things they've got going on. But we know where most email newsletters fail is they try to fill it with too much information. The average person is looking for an informative email newsletter that they are able to scan in less than 90 seconds. So the good news is here, you don't need to spend hours and hours and hours creating newsletters. You're better off with each newsletter focusing on one topic at a time. And we'll dive deeper into the other types of emails and autoresponders and all of that in our full session. Then it comes to mobile marketing. Now, mobile marketing is more important than ever. And the reason is Google has changed one of its algorithms. And now, because Google has recognized how many more people are now doing mobile searches versus searches on their computer, they have now determined that if your website is not mobile friendly, they are penalizing your website and bumping it way down in the search engines. So if any of your competitors have a mobile friendly site and you don't, they have now jumped leap years ahead of you into the search results. And here I've just shown an example of what a mobile site looks like versus a standard site that is so content and image heavy. But we'll go more in depth into mobile marketing in our full session. Next comes social media in session 4. And with social media, there are so many different options. So in this course, we're not diving into this is how you set up a Facebook page or Twitter. I've got other video training sessions for that. So if you need, for example, to set up Facebook, you don't know how to do it, you'll have my contact information at the end. Zip me an email and I'll point you in the direction of the other video series training courses that I've got. But in this particular session, we're talking about the top 5 ways social media can help you grow your business. 1, it's relationship building. You heard me say earlier, people are all about doing business with folks that they know, like, and trust. So social media is the perfect place to be social, to build these relationships, share more of who you are, who your animals are, what you're doing in the heritage world. Then the second step is brand building. Again, this is all about who you are, what you represent, what your mission is, and what you're doing within your organization or farm, or maybe you're selling heritage breed products. The third way is through publicity. What a fun way. We're always looking to generate and create posts that could be picked up in a viral manner. Because again, think about publicity. The news world has changed. The reporters, the editors, they're also scanning both social media posts and Facebook and Twitter. They're looking to see what cool stories are out there that they could also be either sharing or calling you up and doing interviews, television shows, etc. So great way to get more publicity with your social media. And then promotions. Now you've got to be sensitive with promotions. You're looking for that 80-20 rule, which means 80% of your time in social media is all about being social, but the other 20% you can be posting promotions. So let's say that you have a flock, you've got new baby lambs that have been born. So you've spent time posting some cute pictures of the lambs, or if you've got goats, your baby kits. And then let's say that 2 of these particular lambs are going to be coming up for sale. It's okay to then put in that for sale notice on it, but just be sensitive. You don't want too many for sale and too many promotions because people will unfriend you. And then the top 5th way is marketing research. And I love marketing research and social media. Here you've got access to your friends and followers. Ask them questions. What products are they looking for? What services? Really engage with them. People like to be part of helping you grow your farm and grow your business. And then the fifth part of this session is all about creating and implementing your roadmap. And this, you heard me say, is one of my favorite parts because I've worked with so many folks that are so overwhelmed with their marketing, and it's so exciting to see them fill out their worksheets and bring themselves to a place where marketing is fun and easy because it's about talking and engaging with your customers. So as we lay out this roadmap, here are some important things. You're definitely going to want to take notes on this. In your roadmap, now the good news is I start you off with just a 2-page roadmap. So it's real easy to get started, fill it out, get comfortable, and then you can come back for some more of our advanced marketing programs where I can show you how to make your marketing roadmap even more robust, but starting and taking baby steps will make it much easier for you. So first, we need to know, what do you want your marketing to do? This is back to just pulling that goal off the worksheet you already did back in session 1. Who are your ideal customers? You've already defined that, so we bring that into your roadmap. Who are your top 3 competitors? What's your brand's voice? Here's the place that you list out your font names, you list out your colors, whether it's a Pantone color, whether it's a hexadecimal, RGB, whatever and however you track your colors. Now you're going to have one place to do it. Then in your roadmap, you make sure that your website is meeting at least 85% of the guidelines. And here's a great place to track what you need to do to improve your site. Then we're going to identify which marketing tools you're currently using, how are they working for you, and which marketing tools are you getting ready to try in the next 3 months. So we're always looking forward to keep growing your business. Then, is it important for you to be found in the search engines? If it is, then please come back and take one of the advanced courses in how to really identify your keywords, really know where to place them in your website coding, and how to rank your website higher. So this goes into your roadmap. You need to know what keywords and what hashtags you're focusing on so that can be incorporated into your marketing and into your posts. And if this doesn't make sense to you right now, if you go, oh, CS, I've got no clue what a hashtag is, don't worry about it. We cover it in some of our video training sessions. Then we also need to look at, where does your site currently rank in Google? What directories are you listed in? What team members are available to help you with your marketing? And which marketing projects do you need to outsource? Then in your roadmap, you've already heard me say 2 pages for right now. You can either have it delivered and you can download a Word document, or the Excel spreadsheet is also available to you. They're both identical. It just depends on what software you're most comfortable in. The other piece to your marketing roadmap, and you can do this right now, is to schedule your tasks. So for example, if I know I've set aside 30 minutes a day, for me, I love the lunchtime break. I have lunch, gets me to take a break, and I have a ball interacting on social media. But I schedule that on my calendar. And this is where so many folks stumble with marketing, is it becomes an afterthought, or it becomes something, oh yeah, I'll get to it, or oh, I ran out of time today, well, I'll do marketing tomorrow. That's not what's going to bring you buying customers. Marketing is something that you schedule on your calendar as if it were an appointment. It becomes part of your regular day. Just like you heard me say, whether you're going outside to water and feed the chickens, your marketing is just as important to keep your business alive. And you've already heard me say, it can be scheduled in just 30 minutes a day to connect. So now we've covered the top 5 pieces of this particular marketing workshop. Session 1, ensure a profitable start. Session 2, really crafting that high-performing website. Session 3, profit-producing marketing tactics. 4, the 5 steps and how to engage in your social media. And then session 5 is all about creating that marketing roadmap that only takes 30 minutes a day to implement. So how do you get signed up? What can you do to find more buying customers? Head over to livestockconservancy.org, because I know this link may be a little bit long to quick copy down. But if you go to the second button over, I think they've got it, what we do, and your second button down is your marketing webinar. The cost is only $97 for all 5 60-minute sessions. We kick off on Tuesday. Now, if for any reason you're busy out on the farm, or we had one lady in our last session, this was lambing season for her, so it was very hard for her to get to the live sessions. No worries. Every session is recorded, and you'll have 24-hour access, unlimited access. So we've made this ultra affordable for you because, again, you heard me say at the beginning, my mission is about helping you protect your endangered breeds of livestock, and it also helps me meet my mission of protecting endangered animals. So I'm here to passionately work with you, share all the knowledge I can. Here's my contact information. Call me if you've got questions. Also email me, and I really hope I get to see you in our next 5-part session. I'm here and ready to help you find more buying customers. So until then, enjoy your day and the world around you.